Alright, I took a couple of days off and always thinking about the plane because you're supposed to do something every day, but I had some stuff to do at work. Here we are with the pull handle. I cut this piece to fit inside here, and what I did is I took the longest spot, which is the spar. The ribs get bigger towards the front, so I just drew a line on it, and I wanted the sides to be symmetrical, so I marked them, I cut them. A chop saw probably would have been easier. I didn't want this thing flinging on the table saw, and all I had here was an air grinder, so I went through that with the cutoff tool, and then the air grinder, basically worked my way down. I measured it. This is perpendicular, and it ends up being about a 5-degree angle. This one I cut totally parallel or square. That's the insert that goes into it. This is the piece that goes inside the skin, and then the doubler goes over it. So that needs to be flush in there. That can't be big. And now what I'm about to do is JB weld it together and I'll let it cure for the night. That's it. So I JB welded this together and made sure that it was very centered. It was kind of messy trying to get the glue inside there. I kind of put some inside with the screwdriver and wrapped some around that, stuck it in, I do some out of one end, tried to feed it in the other end, and I took lots of paper towels to clean it up. So you can see centered pretty good. I'm going to let this dry tonight, and then tomorrow we'll put it in there. Look, I made a little rivet throwing star with the leftover JB. Well, my Chinese throwing star didn't survive too good. It's now a linked star. I put the tube in. I'm really happy with the way it comes out. I know it's just a silly little piece and I probably overthought it. But as far as fitting, I see how it's keyed right in there. Oops, sorry. So that side has the doubler on it, and then this side does not. Now we rivet these on, and the pull handle's done. Well, at least the part on the wing. I couldn't find it in the manual anywhere that you had to cut these off. I did for the rudder, these bend tabs, but then I watched a video and the other guy cut it off, so I'm pretty much guessing we have to cut these off. I got the Dremel kit. I'm using a plastic blade only because early on in fabricating car audio stuff, I always figured out that you treat aluminum like wood and you treat fiberglass like steel as far as the blades and stuff goes. So I'm going to try the plastic blade first. We'll see how it goes. So that went pretty well. Only saying that because, well, not really. I was going to say plastic's closer to wood, but I like it. Now we do a little sanding. I meant to grab a sanding block today. I got one. Make one. I bought this little Dremel kit. It's got these cutoff blades in it, and like I said, one's plastic. That's what we tried on the other side. That works pretty good. Then there's one for really thin cut. I don't know if it's for plastic or metal, but it is very thin. And right now I'm going to try the metal one on this side. Just curious to see if one works better than the other. You figure metal on metal should work, but we'll see. Alright, so we cut it, but as suspected, I think I like the plastic one better. It's not horrible. And it will get the job done, but I feel like I'm wearing a lot of this off. If you look at this is the one I cut the other one with. I mean, the diameter is still the same. And so is the metal one. I just felt like it was making more dust and wearing down the blade. the consensus is they both work, but I like the plastic one better. So moving forward, I will use the plastic one. And this quarter turn lock thing is pretty cool. Better than a little screw that they used to have. This might be a boring part of the video, but I guess this is a bit of a challenge to get in. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here. Try and put it in, I know. That part fits. So I was going to stick this drill bit. Hope it doesn't get stuck in there. And I put the screw in, this bolt, with the washer from this side. Oh, that was a good idea. So I did drill out the bushings with that 3/16 drill, because otherwise you cannot get that bolt through even if you have access. Alright. So that's number one. Might be painful. Maybe there's a trick to it. And I do watch some videos online. I haven't come across it, or at least if I did, I forgot. Needle nose. But yeah, this kind of sucks. Maybe I'll do the same thing down here. Take a 3/16 drill bit. Just to keep this side lined up. Okay. Getting there. Alright, that's full deflection, so might be a little bit too much, huh? You sure we can't push those up? I don't know if it matters. You have it going from the top down. It's probably that if the nut falls off, that the bolt stays in there. Unless we fly invert it a lot. I'm tempted to just fry it against this. I don't want to dent the wing skin here. Looks like it's lined up. That's not good. Oops. That's exactly what I didn't want to do. Is this good enough? I promise I'll tighten all the rest of the bolts. Oh. Seems like a little clamp. Alright, well, I'm not going to bore you guys. I'll tell you what I figured out. Alright. I don't know if you can tell, but I got that sucker in. And what I had to do is I did drill it out with a 3/16 drill bit. First I did that one up here. And then this does clear this. So I went in and just cleaned it out so all the bushings line up. Because there was no way to even push that thing in with the rudder detached. It was just so tight. I don't know if I got cold bearings and hot bolts or what, but now I can put the other washer and the lock nut on it. And same thing here, we got threads protruding. I don't know if you can see. But yeah, that was the answer. Clean out the holes, loosen up your tolerances. If that doesn't work, use a 1/4" drill bit. Just kidding. Only a 3/16, and then that did it. So I made myself a little stand. I saw somebody else on YouTube do that, and I thought that was a good idea. It takes up less space and I can put this somewhere. But more importantly, I trimmed this cap. I'm not gonna mount it yet. And I went very straight on this, but now I'm thinking that I can probably match this corner to up here, which will also lift the back. All right, let me back up. This line parallel with the tape is not straight up to here. This arches up. So I followed the straight line before I cut the bend tabs off. And now I'm thinking that if I connect this dot to the tip, we'll get a better fit. So we'll do that. I did not end up cutting this because looking at the line, it I don't think it would have helped it. You know, maybe a little bit, but not worth all the aggravation. Ended up with a little bit of a gap up here, and I got this as tight as I can here, meaning pushing it forward. You know, I couldn't really lift that up anymore without tilting this down. I have a little less than 1/8 of an inch clearance here, so that's nice and smooth. Trimmed all that down, and then it had this indication for glue and the brass washers, these little 1/8 inch washers, but no description. So I think what I figured out is because they don't want the rivet pulling against the plastic on the inside, they want you to actually glue the brass washer in. So I'm going to get some CA glue and do that tomorrow. 1, 2, 3 I believe goes into metal, and then these front 4 go into plastic. So I'm going to glue 4 washers on the back of that. Same thing on the other side, which actually we can verify by oh god, where am I? Here we go. 10 of them. I haven't used any, so yeah, maybe it's 5. Maybe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, wait, maybe there's one here. Yeah, I don't know where the other 2 would go. All right, good night. So I sanded the backside of this, hard to tell. I cleaned it with some isopropyl alcohol, and I'm gonna put those 5 washers on. And what I'm gonna do is I basically put a little bit of a CA, the really thin stuff, on there, and I like to literally just dab it and then run around the outside, and capillary action will basically suck it in. And hopefully not glue my Cleco to it. The little dabber I'm using is a touch-up paint for cars from buy them at Auto Body Supplies or on Amazon. But they work pretty good. They don't last very long. The CA glue takes a little felt tip off. So you only get about a session out of it. And the reason I put the glue on the tape there is because it's disposable. When I'm done, I just peel it off. Oops. But it's a very good way to control how much glue is going on. And then the thin glue, it really does suck it in pretty quick. I have some accelerator somewhere, but honestly it's not even necessary. that's a good sign. Clecos turn, and the washers don't. Perfect. Hope they stay on when I put it on the plane. But yeah, pretty solid. So yeah, that's the washers in there. Now I'm gonna mount it to the, oh, can you even see this over here? Oh, sorry. So anyway, washers are in there, nice and tight. All 5 of them on this side, and obviously 5 on the other side. Now we're gonna mount it on the plane. Alright, so that did not work. I got these in, and when I got to the last one, because I think it's kind of at an angle, maybe there just wasn't enough glue, and I hear pudding, which means a little washer fell off inside the rudder up here. So I took it all apart again, and I glued them on again, same method. But this is the thicker stuff, and what I did is I put a little bit more glue on it. So the CA glue sticks fine to the plastic, but it did not stick to the brass washer. So I'm gonna put the CA glue underneath. The capillary action sucks it in. It holds kind of good, but I don't want to start riveting and then have some fall off. So now I'm gonna put a little bead of the thicker glue that kind of holds it on, like from the outside, and hopefully that'll work. You know, like a little cap on it, so to say. Kind of like that. I don't know if you can see it, but hoping that'll do the trick. I think it will. Plan B, or at this point Plan C, will be JB Weld. I've seen people use that. I'm not sure if this is any better or not. But Alright, won't bore you with the rest. So I pulled the Clecos out, and I'm just going over it one more time to put a little hat on it. I know this stuff, I think I already said this sticks good to ABS, but probably not so good to the brass. All right, fingers crossed. All right, this time I got all the Clecos in, and I didn't hear any click clink, click clink. As a matter of fact, oh no, I'm missing one, I lied. I put one in, I would take it out, and then I would check with this thing to make sure that the brass washer is still on the other side. And now we rivet them. Well, that concludes the rudder and vertical stabilizer build. Got a little bit of a gap in there. Somebody said they wish they left it longer, but I'm not sure if that would have helped. Trying to think. If you put straps on here and pull it back before you do these, I suppose that would have been one option, but other than that, it came out really straight, I think. I'm really happy with it for the first rodeo. I think tonight I'm going to start looking at the horizontal stabilizer, get those parts pulled and set up, and we'll move on to that. All right, good night.